Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. Thank you for your patience with my flexible start time. I always mean to, if they had a choice for 10-ish as a start time, I would choose 10-ish, but they don't. But that's what I mean. When I choose 10, I mean 10-ish. And 10-ish is anywhere between 10 and 10:25, whenever I'm ready. So thank you for remembering that and or just being patient. Let me know if you can see and hear me, please. Yay, thank you. Hello, hello, good morning. Or good afternoon, good evening. Depending on your location. Hello, 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 hello. This is Bambi, my trusty companion, who we have found out recently is obsessed with squirrel videos. So that's a new fun thing in the house. Putting on squirrel videos for Bambi. So this is going to be a group energy healing live stream where I heal 120 people in 9 different countries. And the theme is one that we've had for the 3 previous healings, the triplet set in April 22. And also this set of 2 healings. This is a set of 2 healings, the twin set. Today, Sunday, the 17th of April, 2022. And then Tuesday, coming up, the 19th of April, 2022. But the theme is healthy family boundaries, which is huge. And I think boundaries with family members, genetic family members, or married family members, like your partner's family as well. It is, for many people, the biggest test of boundaries that they have. For others, maybe not. Maybe it's work people or something like that. But I think these the techniques that we're working are applicable to all areas of your life for boundaries. So it'll be sort of a boundaries festival. And some extra interesting stuff that is related to family boundaries, but related to everything also, of course. Today we will be doing some work on the neck and shoulders and how it relates to the 4th chakra and boundaries with your 4th chakra. So you can get energy cords from people anywhere that you have stuck energy, anywhere you have energy blocks, people can cord. So in an aura layer, in a chakra opening. But so say you have some blocks in the front of your 4th chakra, chakra, and then you have some cords from different people, pairs of cords from, say, 3 different people, right? And they're sending energy in. They could be taking energy out through the cord, or they could be sending energy in. But let's say in this case, they're sending energy in, and that energy has to go somewhere. It doesn't just stay in your 4th chakra. I mean, unless they just send like a little bit, you know. But say they're constantly sending energy, well, it has to go somewhere, right? So turns out one of the places it most commonly goes is from your 4th chakra is into the space in between your neck and your shoulders. Like right in there where most people have a ton of tension. So it's really interesting. If you're present enough, you can melt away those cords and sort of watch the blockages here get less and less. And then we can do some extra repair here and here, you know, between the neck and the shoulders, because you can get like devices that sort of just karate chop in there, like maybe spears or wedges. So you can lift those out and use lots of gold light and heal up that area more. And then there can be some leaks, you know, in these energy channels down the neck and shoulders and arms. So we can mend up those leaks. You can get some invasive beings that are just gobbing up the place, you know, and so we can get rid of those, and then the repair works better. So we're going to be doing that just because it helps you with everything, helps you be more present if you can get more in your neck and shoulders and arms, and it helps you to create and manifest more. It's a major sort of energy highway for your energy, your neck, shoulders, and arms. So, and the fourth chakra helps with self-love, self-care, enthusiasm, motivation, and positive feelings, glass half full perspective. So, so it's huge. So it'll be a really nice thing to play with. And so we will do that today, possibly on Tuesday as well. We'll see. But so how does that relate to family boundaries? Well, you know, a lot of times the boundary issues that people have the most are with family members. And so, you know, they're most likely to wind up in here by courting your fourth. It could be work people or other people as well. But so it's not like only for family boundaries that would help, but you know, hey, it's awesome. So we're gonna do it. Things that are also work in other areas of your life, but are very relevant for family boundaries are clearing agreements. And there are two types of agreements that really jumped out at me that we need to do today: blank check agreements and conformity group agreements. And I'll explain those more when we do them, when we clear them. But we'll just also, you know, clear and update agreements that you might have with family members that, you know, need updating. Because when you have a spiritual agreement with somebody subconsciously, you can always update it. You don't have to, you know, say when you first made an agreement with your mom, you know, obviously that was even before conception. But then you made a bunch of agreements possibly as a young child, you know, and so you have you're different now as far as your level of capability and your desire for autonomy than when you were like 2. So it could be time for an update. So that's easy. And should be fun to see the effects on those things. You know, and we'll do like triggered flowers for triggered people to help, you know, calm and soothe the people that might be affected by you changing agreements. But it's technically better for everybody, because if you're in a, like sort of an oppressive agreement with somebody or a manipulative agreement with somebody, that's bad karma for them. So you're not doing them any favors by letting them screw you over every day. You know, they're gonna have to pay that back someday in some lifetime. So you may as well help the both of you and just lighten things up. But we will do, I'll make sure I'll make a note of it right now, that we do flower healing for triggered people. Just to help make the shift as gentle as possible for all parties. All right, so I am excited. Oh, geeky stats. I generally like saying those. Oh, if any of you are religious, I am not religious. I like to say I'm spiritual, not religious, but it's not, I have no issue with clients of mine, people I'm healing, being religious. It's fine with me. So I guess this time is a religious holiday in like 4 major religions. So happy Ramadan, happy Easter, happy Passover, and happy Vaisakhi, which is it's a Sikh holiday. So lots of religious holidays right about now. So if you celebrate any of those, I hope it brings you meaning and joy and peace and happiness. And happy spring. I'm still celebrating that. I'm still like pinching myself. Is it really spring? Did we make it? Oh, so exciting. So I'm catching up on my hellos, and then we'll do the 2 minutes of quiet, and then we'll start the healing. And I didn't say it, so if you're new to me, just as a heads up, as I'm healing the 120 people, except for the first minute, but the rest of the time I'm talking out loud as I do it, saying what I'm doing, so it functions as an all levels walkthrough as well. Although my focus is just doing as best I can with the healing, but you're welcome to heal yourself as you watch by listening to what I say. And people watch this that didn't get a chance to purchase this healing 2 months ago, or can't afford it, or whatever, for whatever reason they chose not to purchase it, so they're not getting healed by me if they're not one of those 120 people that purchased 2 months ago. But that's fine. They are welcome to, you, if that's you, are welcome to watch and say hi and say how the experience was for you at the end. That's fine. Okay, so got lots of see and hear yous. Thank you so much. From someone says from Evergreen, Colorado, 50 degrees. Ah, yes. And now I have, at long last, I have my my temperature comparison sheet. So 50 degrees Fahrenheit is 10 degrees Celsius. So in Evergreen, Colorado, it is 10 degrees Celsius and 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Good to know. We are cooler than that right now. Someone says, even hearing you talk about the tension from fourth chakra cords helped the tension melt there. Very interesting. Well, you're pretty present, so that's to your credit. Someone says hello with nice emojis. Thank you. So it says, Janet, how do we treat dementia? Well, that's a big question. I have a sibling recently diagnosed with it, and it is sending me into a dimension that is difficult. Yes, spring has sprung. That's a larger question. Maybe I'll have time at the end, but you could post it under a video at any time, and I could give you a more proper answer. Because I wouldn't have a set answer. You could say, like, it's my sister, here are her initials, something like that, as you repost the question under a video, and then I could look specifically for her, because no two people are the same, and so. But for you personally, I would just recommend the basics: aura repair, creative ring repair, chakra repair, a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing today, because your energy isn't really okay anyway. So then when I don't mean to be insulting, you know what I mean, but there's a lot that you could do to get yourself more present anyway, even if it was just a random Sunday for you. So then if you have something that is triggering and your energy's already ripped up and smashed up to some extent, then it's just too much, so just focus on the basic healing if you have time, that we'll be doing in this live stream. If you don't have time now, of course, it'll be saved as a video, so you can catch up later. All right. So I'm just getting ready. More ready. I'm ready already. Okay, so now I will do my 2 minutes of quiet, and halfway through that I'll start the healing in silence, and then I'll start talking out loud, and the walkthrough is starting then. Okay, so thank you for your patience with my quiet time. I hope you enjoy it too. Just, chill out, do whatever you want. All right, so thank you very much for waiting. So you can make a copy out in front of you of what you are healing. You don't have to be able to see energy yet in order to do that. You create a copy with your intention or your thought. So you can make a copy of your own auras out in front of you. Your physical body and your astral body are within those auras. And then a copy of your groundings, astral body grounding and physical body grounding, all the way down to the core of the earth. You make a mini copy of that out in front of you. And then you can use your hands to comb through the copies in order to repair and unblock and heal. You can use your hands because they generate a lot of energy. You have a hand chakra in the palm of each hand, and everyone has that whether or not you knew it. And then you have fingertip chakras in each fingertip. And so that all adds up to quite a bit of energy that you can generate. And you set the energy centers with your intention to be a metallic gold color. And again, you don't have to see the metallic gold, you just think it and set these energy centers to that color. And you can unblock your energy centers a little bit, which is sort of like melting away mud that's clogging them. And you can go ahead and just wash out your aura. And as you comb through everything, your aura, your chakras, your astral and physical bodies, both your groundings, just use your intention and your intuition to check things out. And generally when you're a newbie at this, when you're new at this, you will doubt that your abilities, and you won't maybe sense a lot, which is all right. You can use your imagination, which is sort of like right next to intuition. And so if you just kind of imagine, see what you can imagine about how things feel. Do they feel blocked up? Do they feel ripped? Do they feel flowing? And let's do grounding. So go ahead and recreate both your astral body and your physical body grounding. Make them red or orange or yellow, nice and wide as the heel of the palm of your hand if you were to stretch out your arms. And I would suggest that you make your grounding really high as your third chakra, which is where your sternum bone ends. That's where your third chakra is. So make it nice and wide and nice and high, and then make it go all the way down to the core of the earth. If you want, you can test each of the three grounding colors. Make it red, see how that flows for you. Make your grounding orange, see how that flows for you. Make your grounding yellow and see how that flows and how you feel with that. And then just leave it on which of those three colors felt better for you right now. So then with your copy of your grounding out in front of you, your mini copy, you want to wash it out and imagine the blockages, energy blocks in your grounding. Surround them with gold light until they all melt. And imagine some more blocks in your grounding. Surround them with gold light until they all melt. And grounding is easy to kind of, I guess, assume like, oh, it seems fine, you know? But if you hunt, you can find some energy blocks that are always there and might only trip you up when you're triggered about an issue, about a family member, or maybe you're running late or some other situation. And then all of a sudden your grounding gets smaller and the blocks get a lot more in the way. So right now you may have to kind of hunt for those blocks and put them all in one spot and just melt them all. And find some more energy blocks in your grounding and make a pile of them and melt them away with gold light. And if you have any trouble clearing anything that you find in your grounding, just say, angels, help me clear this. avoidance is can be an issue, not just family boundaries wise, but period. You know, you can have energy blocks in your grounding that you're pretending aren't there. Like, say maybe they're work related and it's the weekend right now, so you don't want to think about work, you know. Or, you know, the energy blocks are related to a certain family member that you don't like thinking about. You know? So go ahead, find the energy blocks that you're especially avoiding in your grounding, and just make a big avoidance pile of all the energy blocks in your grounding that you're really, really avoiding, and just melt them away. Because if they're that unpleasant, you'll be happier when they're gone. So just melt those energy blocks that you've been avoiding in your grounding. If you have trouble clearing them, just say, angels, help me clear these, as you surround them in gold light. So now maybe you're a little braver because you got rid of some energy blocks that you were avoiding. So let's do that again. Go find some more energy blocks in your grounding that you've been avoiding, and just sweep them all into one big avoidance pile, and then melt them away with gold light. Because if they're that gross, you're going to be happier when they're gone. And you may have presence from other people. And I say presence sort of in quotes, you know, sarcastically. You may have energy that people have dumped in your grounding. I mean, maybe they gave it to you as a present and it's just their energy, so it's blocking you up. But maybe also it's just like copies of their drama, whatever they're going through, in your grounding. So just make a big pile of dumped drama, dumped pain that you have in your grounding from other people. And you can just wrap that up in gold light. And if it amuses you, you could blow it up if you're healing yourself, or you could just wrap it up in gold light, reduce it in size, maybe just for fun, and then give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So you can do that again. Just sweep in one spot all the dumped energy that's in your grounding from other people, and just wrap it up with lots of gold light. And then you can make it smaller if you want, just for fun, like shrink it, and then give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. You don't have to make it smaller, but it's kind of a little bit of an assertive thing to, you know, just sort of have fun manipulating it a little bit before you give it to your angels. But you don't have to. All right, so check your grounding now. See what the flow is like. Okay, so then, so that was grounding and blocking, and then a special grounding and blocking for what you're avoiding. So now we'll do indie grounding. So indie grounding is where you check, you're still using that copy of your grounding, and you check the outer perimeter, and you melt away connections from your grounding to other people's grounding, because that's just going to mess everybody up when you link together groundings, because then, like, because you're releasing a lot of junk down to your grounding, and so if it's connected to somebody else, it's somewhat likely to go from, then it goes down and then goes into their grounding, and same with them and to you. So then you're like just grossing each other's aura, you know, you're just messing things up. So just go ahead, gold light, melt away the connections at your grounding with other people. And you can just say to the other people, hey, go check your grounding, have your angels help you with grounding. Go have your own grounding, it'll work so much better for you. And sometimes you might think you're helping somebody, like maybe you think you're helping your mother by linking up your grounding to hers, but you're not. It's different than, you know, like if you just sort of hold someone's hand as they cross the street type of thing. Like I said, grounding is really important. People need to be able to release a lot of junk, and so they need it as big and wide and flowing as possible. They don't need it to be mixed with your energy. So again, just melt away the connections. Even if you think you're helping somebody, you're not, by bonding your grounding to theirs. So just lots of gold light, And you can remind that person that you thought you were helping, hey, ask your angels for help with grounding today. And that way you're actually helping them. And even if you have like a 2-year-old child, that's true as well. They're going to have much better grounding if it's indie grounding and goes straight down to the core of the earth. They're going to sleep better. They're going to process, clearing energy better. So. All right, so that's indie grounding. All right, so let's do some aura repair. And we will do all 17 auras at the same time. So you have 17 auras, which seems kind of weird, like maybe a lot of people just say your aura. So there's that, but it's not true. You definitely don't have just one aura. They're in the same place if you're present, so they look like, one energy field if you're not that into detailed vision. So there's your physical body aura generated by your physical body chakras along your spine. There's your astral body aura generated by your astral body chakras along your spine. And there's the 15 Wei Qi auras, which are just big gold force fields of flowing light, hopefully that are nice and whole, that help you with energy boundaries. So we're gonna spend an extra moment or two on Wei Qi or repair just to help you with boundaries. But first we'll just check them all out at once. You just imagine them all in the same place. The only time they're not in the same place is say you're asleep or you're especially tuned out. Then your Wei Qi auras and your astral body aura would be wherever your astral body is, and your physical body aura would be around your physical body. So then they would be separate. But assuming you're relatively present right now, then they're all in the same spot. So just comb through them all. And you want to use the gold light to clean out the rips and repair the rips. And so at first you just check them out, see how much damage there is. Just intuit, imagine, think, where is the damage? Is it in the top? Is it behind your head? Is it in front of your tummy? All of the above. If you've never repaired your Wei Qi auras, there's probably quite a bit of damage. But that's okay. It can be repaired. Okay, so to repair, we can use composite copy technique, which is where you imagine one rip that represents, it's a composite copy, and it represents all the rips in these 17 auras of yours that are healthy and gentle to repair right now. So you imagine your composite copy rip of yours that represents the rips in your 17 auras, and then just wash it out with lots of gold light as deep as you can get into that rip. And just because there could be an awful lot of junk in the way, just kind of building up in the rip, we're going to use sticky gold wax. So sticky gold wax is gold light that then hardens and sticks to what's not you, which makes it a little bit easier to get rid of it in one big lump. So just fill up the rip with sticky gold wax, and then you're going to remove all the junk with the wax together and give it to your angels. So lift out the wax and the junk. Angels, here you go. And then do some more healing there of this rip. Get the gold light really deep in there so it can start to grow back. And we're going to do sticky gold wax a second time just to be thorough. So fill it up with sticky gold wax as deep as you can get it. And then let the wax stick to whatever's not you and lift all that junk out. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And now you should have really good access to the ripped parts. And so just use gold light and let it all repair. And if it's not repairing well, you can just say, angels, help me do this as you work. Specifically, angels, help me do this. Because then you're your real actual angels that were appointed to you before this life began and the life planning in heaven. Those are the spirits that are helping you, and they're altruistic and very trustworthy. So we're using composite copy technique to finish up repairing the rips in your 17 auras right now. And keep going until it's fully repaired. Some people stop a little too soon. All right, and then you can have some aura scarring left over, which is just a hard bumpiness where it used to be damaged. And that hard bumpiness is not a good protection. It makes the aura weaker and more easily damaged. So we can melt that aura scarring and finish up the healing. So put all your aura scarring in one place. That would be, you know, around the edges of all your 17 auras. Just lump all the aura scarring together and just use lots of gold light to melt it. And let's do collapsing gold nets. So we did the repair and then we just melted aura scarring. So let's do collapsing gold nets just in case you have a couple invasive beings just hanging out in the way. So imagine, you know, all your 17 auras and your groundings and just big gold nets that are way bigger than all that, like a big cube of gold nets. So way above you, all the way down to the core of the earth. And you're going to collapse in those gold nets so that they catch everything that's not you, including other people, including invasive beings. And so just close in all the nets so the nets tangle up what's not you. And then give those nets to your angels. Angels, here you go. And if it's too hard for you, you think, to move the nets and give it to your angels, you could just not do that. Just tangle them up in the nets and say, angels, can you get rid of all this? But it's an extra level of self-assertiveness just to pick it up like it's nothing and give it to your angels. Okay, so gold nets one more time. Big gold nets all around you and collapse them in so they tangle up everything that's not you. And then move that out in the nets. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Ah, nice deep breath. Wiggle your toes, feel your legs a little bit. All right, so that was gold nets, just to get rid of some things that might be in the way, people, invasive beings. So aura bruising is a little bit similar to aura scarring, except it's usually you get it if your aura didn't maybe fully rip, and the force just went through the two regular auras and just kind of bounced around and created like these hard plates of energy in several aura layers. That would be aura bruising. So you might have that, you know, like say around one of your shoulders in layers 1, 2, and 3, or around your head in layers 7, 6, 5. You know, so it could be in various places. So just lump all the aura bruising in one place, all the copies of all your aura bruising, and just go ahead and melt it with gold light. Okay, good job. Great job. Oh, redo your gold buffer zones. I'll link below a reference video for gold buffer zones. It's 18 minutes long. Teaches aura repair and also gold buffers, which help slow the rate of aura damage if you use them properly. If you don't know what they are, and so therefore you don't know how to recreate them in an instant, you haven't watched the video yet, you can just say, angels, help me recreate, help me, create gold buffer zones. And then later you can watch the video. Okay, so let's do some of that clearing agreement stuff, because I think that's going to help quite a bit. So blank check agreements are pretty wild. They're often created when someone is very young, like 6 months old, a year and a half old, 2.5 years old, something like that. And often it happens when a kid does something, a young child does something that the mom, typically the mom, could be a dad too, but that one of the parents is kind of freaked out by. Like, for example, let's say a 3-year-old runs in front of a car, when they're in a parking lot and the mom's trying to get the kids in the car, and then this 3-year-old just takes off for, where a car is driving. Once the mom safely gets that child back, hopefully, then sometimes the mom can be in such a freaked out and triggered place where she creates a blank check agreement with her child that, like, you're never going to do that again. When you are going to listen to me all the time. You're never going to, defy me, because maybe the mom was like, come back, and the kid just ran harder. Yeah. So, and kids usually will agree to whatever, like on a spirit level, because they don't have any power in the situation, they're 3. So whatever agreement, the parents are like, you're going to do this now forever. You're always going to obey me. You're always going to listen, So, now you're like 40, and say you're just doing some energy healing on yourself, and you're clearing all sorts of past life grief, and you're bringing in all sorts of new energy, and it's an energy shift, and your mother subconsciously is triggered by that. She doesn't know what you're doing. She doesn't know that it's going to help your whole life. So that blank check agreement kicks in, and she can jump in your space and pretty much stop the growth that you're trying to create. And all of a sudden you get anxious, and you stop what you're doing, and you get distracted, and you don't meditate again for like a month, for example. So that's, that gets in the way. A lot of people have blank check agreements with their parents. And sometimes it doesn't get in the way so much, say if your parent is more mellow now and not easily triggered by your growth and progress on any level, because probably on some levels they're proud of your growth and progress, but then there's the phobic, triggered, stuck parts that, assume the worst and are like, are you okay? What's going on? And jump in and stop everything. So you're not 2 anymore. You know how to not run in front of traffic, and to not like roll off a changing table now, It's a very different scenario. You have to be fully functioning. So I would suggest that you clear your blank check agreements that you have with your parents and other loved ones, because you have angels, and your angels can protect you from, if it's meant to be, your angels will protect you from traffic and rolling off a table and stuff like that. So anyway, and especially, even if you don't have anxiety issues, but especially if you have anxiety issues, or, you just feel like sometimes you just can't handle anything, I would really especially encourage you to hunt for blank check agreements that you have with people and melt them away. If you're nervous about like, well, I don't know if I should melt it, hand it to your angels and say, angels, help me update this. And that way, if it's totally in your way, your angels will help you totally clear it and not just keep it and modify it, but you can, if you're not sure if you should have your parents still be able to stop any growth or not, then fine. We'll do a safeguard way where you just hand them to your angels. Okay. So blank check agreements, right? So just you can reground just for a sec because maybe that triggered you a little and your grounding blocked out maybe. So we're going to reground. So that was blank check agreements explaining. And then we're going to reground, and then we're going to do. Okay, so reground, red or orange or yellow, big grounding, recreate it as high as your third chakra, wide as the heel of the palm of your hand, red or orange or yellow. And then use a copy of your grounding out in front of you and just melt away the blocks. Make sure the grounding is nice and wide as your whole aura. Melt, sweep together all the energy blocks in your grounding and just melt them with gold light. You can remind yourself, hey, I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm not running in front of traffic anymore. All right, great. So that was a little regrounding. So now we're imagining the blank check agreements and melting them away. Because blank check agreements, it basically gives someone complete control over your entire life, all your decisions, all your actions, which is a bit much. Okay, so just imagine all your blank check agreements out in front of you, and it could be with past life parents even that you still have, which is weird, to keep those. I don't think, probably if your past parents are in heaven, they're not currently utilizing them to control you, but it's probably good practice just to get rid of them. So imagine all your blank check agreements. You can have your angels check them all, just in case there's one or two you should keep. Just have your angels check. Angels, is it okay to clear all these? And then the angels are all like, yes, go for it. So then just use gold light and melt them away. I would not blow them up. I would let gold light melt them. Again, we are melting away blank check agreements that you made with really any family members, actually. But it could be with parents specifically, but it could be with siblings. Okay, so again, since I didn't mention siblings and other people, I was only saying parents, you can say, okay, put forward any blanket check agreements you have with anybody. So ex-husbands, current spouses, siblings, parents, anybody from past lives, with anybody, bosses, anybody. Put all your blank check agreements out in front of you and say, angels, is it okay to clear all these? And then you can imagine them like sticks or rocks or bricks or pieces of paper or whatever, however you want to imagine them. And then bring up red earth energy. That's optional, but it's nice to just kind of soak them in red earth energy. That helps you separate from them. And then gold light to melt them away. And you may have loved ones that, you didn't pay for to get this healing, and you feel like, oh my gosh, say your boyfriend or your husband or your spouse really has some blank check agreements with their mom still, or one of their siblings or their best friend or something. And you can see it, and it's really codependent. You can just, if you're centered enough right now, you can just say with your mind, say that person's name is John. You can just say, hey, John, Ask your angels for help with looking at and clearing your blank check agreements that you have with people, because it'll help you be more confident and more capable. It'll help you with stress, help you reduce stress. So just say, ask your angels to help you clear blank check agreements. And that way they'll probably work on it in their sleep with their angels on a subconscious level. Okay, so that was clearing blank check agreements. So go ahead and check out your aura, your chakras, your grounding, your auras, everything, just to see how do you feel right now. Deep breaths. Okay, good job. So that was blank check agreements that we just did. So since we're on a roll with agreements, let's do the other one that I really wanted to get to, which is conformity group agreements. So conformity group agreements, they could be with society, they could be with, say you have a family, a big family, or just a family that is part of a certain religion or cultural group, and there could be a lot of rules, either consciously or subconsciously, with that group. And they can even be like very subtle things, like, you know, we all carry the pain of our ancestors, or we all, you know, stuff that's actually not helping the group. And so if you were to, if your angels thought it was good for you to clear some of these conformity group agreements, you could be a lighter, more flowing part of that group. You could still be a part of that group if that's what you want, but then you could help bring lightness and change to that group, that you wouldn't have been able to do if you were, you know, just by being you. You could bring lightness and change to that group, not by doing anything really, other than clearing your conformity group agreements, and that would sort of free up your energy to evolve and make progress more easily. So sometimes if someone's kind of working on themselves a lot, but they don't tend to see as much progress as they think they should be, and they think they should be making more progress, it could be that they have some conformity group agreements, even from past lives, that are in the way and that are just keeping them in some fear, or keeping them just sort of heavy and carrying everybody else's energy. And so, you know, obviously that actually doesn't benefit the group, you know, for you to be disempowered. If you're stronger, if you're more empowered, if you choose to be a part of a group, you'd be a bigger asset to that group, right? You'd be more inspiring. And if you choose not to be a part of that group, then obviously you'd have the ability to choose by clearing the conformity group agreements. So it's a good thing. And again, we will have your angels double check so that you don't clear anything that you shouldn't clear, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so those are conformity group agreements. And again, a lot of those were made when you were very young. Like, for example, some religious traditions, there's a lot of ceremony. You know, my parents, well, my birth mother is Roman Catholic. And so they have rituals that happen at certain ages. There's baptism at a certain age range, and then there's first communion, and then there's confirmation, at different ages of childhood, basically. So you don't really have like all the authority, and you don't have the access to wisdom that you do now. So it's a nice time to just kind of change your mind if you want, or just update those agreements. So let's do it. It's sort of fascinating that the angels are having us do it right when all these religious holidays are happening. And again, you can have conformity group agreements for religions that you are not a member of anymore, because it's a past life, because you've been a part of like so many religions and so many different past lives. There's so many cultures, so many whatever. So, it's kind of silly to keep the conformity group agreements from these old religions that you're not a part of and you don't look to return to, So anyway, so that was explaining conformity group agreements. And then of course we'll reground for a minute. And then we will do clearing those conformity group agreements. So reground, just make a big grounding, red or orange or yellow, as high as your third chakra, as wide as the heel of the palm of your hand, and all the way down to the core of the earth. And then make a copy of your grounding out in front of you, and just comb through it, bathe it with lots of gold light, melt away all the blockages in your grounding. Make sure it's nice and wide. Deep breath. Okay, great. So this is the doing part. So go ahead and imagine out in front of you any conformity group agreements that you have from this life or past lives. They're still current agreements, so it doesn't matter when they're from, which is any current agreements that you have, conformity group agreements that you still have. And just imagine them out in front of you as pebbles, as seashells, as rocks, as paper, as twigs, whatever you want to imagine them as. And again, there could be a lot, because it's just sort of stuff that you forget to end at the end of a lifetime sometimes. So just imagine all your conformity group agreements and just say, angels, can you double check all these and make sure it's okay for me to clear all these? Make sure it's healthy for me to clear all these. And then go ahead and melt them away with gold light. And you could bring up red earth energy too and soak them in the red earth energy. That's fine. And then gold light, and just melt them away with gold light. And again, these are conformity group agreements, maybe that you made when you were a kid, or past life. One example is maybe you made a conformity group agreement to marry only within your religion group, or marry only within your like racial group, or and again, this could be from a past life, or it could be when you were a child that subconsciously you made that agreement. So you can go ahead and melt that, so that you can actually choose yourself, and that your decisions and your thoughts aren't influenced by these subconscious old agreements that you have. All right, so then let's do a little bit of flower healing just to nourish. We are going to be doing flower healing for triggered people as well. But first, let's do flower healing for you. So go ahead, and you could use your hands or just imagine them out in front of you without moving your hands. But make energy healing flowers for yourself out of universal healing energy. So they could be gold or rainbow colors or both. And just make a whole bunch of energy healing flowers, just the right vibration for you right now. Have your angels check them. Angels, can you check my flowers? And then give them to yourself. Okay, do that one more time. Make energy healing flowers for yourself, as many as you need. And you can just multiply them by 1,000, you know, so you can get a whole bunch of energy healing flowers and say, angels, can you check my flowers? And then give them to yourself. All right, and so now let's do energy healing flowers for triggered people. And then we will go back and do a little bit extra clearing conformity group agreements. So you just imagine out in front of you, so we just did flower healing for yourself. And then now we'll do flower healing for triggered people. You don't owe these people healing, but it's just kind of nice to do, and it benefits you as well, because then everybody's more chilled out. All right, so you just imagine out in front of you a whole bunch of people that might be affected in some way by the ripple effect of your growth and change and progress. You can make energy healing flowers for them. I would not suggest that you send other types of energy to them, because that would be a group healing, which would be, healing more than one person at a time, which is much riskier on a boundaries level. You get put on larger invasive beings become aware of you and become invasive with you that would otherwise have totally ignored you. So, but for some reason, flower healing is an exception to that, and the big invasive beings really don't care about flower healing, even though it's a really cool thing. So you can just imagine all these possibly triggered people, at a distance out in front of you, like family members, neighbors, siblings, people from those cultural groups. And go ahead, make energy healing flowers, just generic ones, like your angels can help and guide you. You can ask your angels for help. And nice generic ones, and just say, angels, can you check my flowers? And you're going to put these flowers at a distance in front of those people. And maybe, since there's a bunch of people, maybe like 10 feet away from the front of everybody's auras, or maybe 15 feet away. So you just imagine them at a distance, and then there's this sort of respectful little area for flowers, and you can just put the flowers around and say, again, angels, can you check my flowers? And then you could say, hey, if you want these flowers, the angels checked them. And then you just let go of the whole thing, and if they take the flowers, they do. If they don't, they don't. But it's just an attempt to help inspire people to work with their angels in a non-manipulative way, because it's universal healing energy, those flowers, and it's not your energy, and they don't have to take the flowers, of course. All right, so that was flower healing for triggered people. So let's do one more time those conformity group agreements. So again, we'll do the So just imagine out in front of you any extra conformity group agreements that you still have, and it doesn't matter when they began, like maybe in a past life or a couple years ago or when you were a kid. So put out the remaining conformity group agreements that you would like to clear, and then just say, angels, can you check all these, make sure this is healthy for me to do? And they'll remove any that they don't want you to clear, of course. And then go ahead, lots of gold light, and just melt them with gold light, melt the agreements with gold light. Again, we're melting conformity group agreements that are just kind of in your way. Maybe they're impairing your conscious perception or your decision making, or they're kind of preventing some growth that you want to do. If you have any left over, you can say, angels, help me with these. All right, good job. So now you can go ahead and comb through your energy system, all your 17 auras and your physical body and your astral body and both your groundings, and just see how it feels. If you get anything that you sense as you're combing through all that. All right. So good job with that. That was clearing conformity group agreements. And then we did some flower healing for yourself and for triggered people. And then we again cleared conformity group agreements. Woohoo! So now we'll do the other thing that I talked about in the intro, which is helping you. I think we'll do chakra repair first. Ooh, chakra repair and creative ring repair. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll do creative repair, then we'll do chakra repair, then we'll do the fourth chakra work. Okay. So fourth chakra / neck and shoulders. But first, let's build up to that. So creative ring repair, there is like a 14-minute video on creative ring repair, which I like a lot. If you search Janet Wright creative ring repair, it should come up. I'll link it below as well. But anyway, so your creative rings are right here, 1, 2, 3, and they're gold rings, and they come and go with you as a spirit, with your astral body system, and they generate gold light. If they're functioning and healed and repaired and unblocked enough, they generate gold light, which goes down into your 7th chakra and then all your other chakras, and it's inspiring. It helps you. It's one of the chakras themselves generate energy as well, but it's nice to have other systems that can kind of jumpstart your chakras if your chakras get too blocked. Kind of like jumper cables for a car. If your inner battery's messed up, then you need your jumper cables. So maybe creative rings are a bit like jumper cables. I don't know, but it can be a continuous source of inspiration, though, not just every once in a while. But you want to make sure nobody else is hooked into your creative rings, because they are so important and they affect the chakras so much. So it's important. So anyway, so imagine copies of your 3 creative rings out in front of you. So that was just explaining. So that was 2 minutes of explaining. So then now we'll do. So you have your 3 creative rings out, the copies out in front of you, and check first. Do basic repair. Check for cracks, breaks in them, scratches, and repair those with gold light. And you can have even cracks, pretty subtle levels of damage in your creative rings that make a big difference, make you feel like, whoa, like things are a little overwhelming. So I would suggest that you, sort of intuitively or visually check, but also intuitively, because a crack isn't that obvious, visually. So use your intuition as well to check. Lots of gold light, and just saturate the rings with gold light so that they repair properly. All right, so that was creative ring repair. I didn't say out loud, but as you're using all that gold light, what that does too is it helps you to melt off the energy cords from invasive beings or from other people that are going into your creative rings. I got a little more organized as far as my visual aids. So this is a drawing, for if you view from the top down, of like one of the creative rings, like say the top one, right? And so the flaps, it's not supposed to be like this. This is an irritated creative ring. If you imagine it without all those little flaps, just the ring itself, then that's a relaxed creative ring. But if the flaps are open, that means there are some cords coming in there, just sending extra energy, and it's kind of freaking out your creative rings. So we don't want the flaps open. We want to melt away the junk that could be blocking them up. And here's a drawing of what that might look like if you have junk in there, just little energy blocks. And then of course people can cord into those energy blocks, and people can cord if the flaps are open anyway. So want to get rid of the energy blocks and then melt away the cords so that those flaps can close and the whole ring can just relax. So just melt away the blocks and the cords going into your creative rings. You can even lift out all the energy blocks and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Lift out the blocks inside your creative rings. Angels, here you go. Lift out energy blocks around your rings. Angels, here you go. And of course, melt any remaining cords from people. And just let these creative ring flaps close. You don't jam them shut. You want them to naturally close, but if you melt away all the junk and the cords, they should close. You may have some invasive beings kind of in the way. So we could do collapsing gold nets around your rings. So some nets like maybe around the 7th chakra in the top of your head and your creative rings. And just close up the nets on whatever junk is there. Angels, here you go. More collapsing gold nets around your creative rings and your 7th chakra. And just close up those nets to get all that junk. Angels, here you go. And now you can try again to relax all the rings and all the flaps so they close naturally. So that was repair first, and then unblocking and melting cords. And then we did collapsing gold nets to get rid of the beings and people that could be in the way. And then we did more gold just to relax those flaps. And as the flaps of the top creative ring close, then the other creative rings tend to follow suit and close as well. And then flaps around the round openings of the chakras, also most of them would close as well once the creative rings relax. So you can just imagine all your major chakras along your spine. So the 7 major chakras of your physical body and the 7 major chakras of your astral body. Those, the basic shape is a round cylinder. So the cylinder and then round opening, round opening. 7th chakra is oriented this way, although it's much smaller. It's in there in the top of your head. And then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 are like this, if this cup was on its side, which I don't really want to do because it's full. But so 7 is like this, and then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 are like this, with the round opening in the front and the round opening in the back. But you can just, you know, intuitively or with your thought make your copies. You don't have to like see and have vision. That's really good. But I think I'm going to just imagine the astral body chakras within the physical body chakras. So it looks like 7 chakras, but it's really the 7th inside the 7th and then the 6th inside the 6th. So it's really like 2 sets of 7 chakras or 14 chakras. But anyway. Just imagine copies of them out in front of you and relax the flaps of those. Unblock them with cold light, melt away cords, and relax those flaps. And they look the same, you know, like, so this would be maybe the round opening of, say, your throat chakra. And then, you know, you could have energy blocks that are opening the flaps. So you just melt away the energy blocks in the cords so that the flaps can relax, and you're unblocking this whole area so that your energy can flow in the front of your 5th chakra. So anyway, just imagine the flaps and the blocks and the cords, and melt the cords and unblock the openings. Gold light. You just let the gold light do the work. You don't have to overthink it. Deep breath, lots of deep breaths. All right. You may need a little extra work on 3, 2, and 1. The lower chakras, 3, 2, and 1. Astral and physical. So you can do a little bit extra unblocking on those. Chakra fit. Let's do chakra repair, and then we'll do chakra fit. So chakra repair is necessary sometimes because you can get cracks in the chakra, or you can get like chunks missing, or holes that don't belong there. So chakra repair. And also, so you could get damage to, like, for example, somebody's mom has damage to like her upper chakra, 7, 6, and 5. But 4, 3, 2, 1, actually the front of her 4th is damaged as well, but then 3, 2, and the back of her 1st is damaged. So, you know, it's maybe they're not all damaged, but little parts of some of them are damaged. So we're going to repair them all at once. So that means you don't have to, you know, have good clairvoyance or any clairvoyance yet in order to do the repair work. So that's important. That's good. So I do have a separate standalone video for chakra repair that is maybe like 11 minutes long. I link it below later. It's if you search Janet Wright chakra repair major minor, you'll find it major minor. We will be repairing the major chakras as well as the minor chakras. So like minor chakras are everything but the 7 major astral and 7 major physical. Those are major chakras. Just because, I don't know, that's what I call them. But then you have a lot of others that are really important, like in your neck and shoulders, in your legs, in your hips, and all your major joints. I mean, lots of chakras everywhere. All your acupuncture points, those are little chakras that are super important and helpful. So anyway, make one composite copy that represents all your major and minor chakras. So it would look like an open cylinder, and you repair it with gold light. So as you're repairing this composite copy, you're repairing all your major and minor chakras, including the ones in your neck and shoulders and arms. Chakra damage can affect you in all sorts of ways. It can make you more distracted, harder time focusing. It can affect your sleep. It can certainly affect your boundaries with other people. All right, so that's basic chakra repair, so that you're repairing up all the cracks and breaks and stuff. And melting cords too, as you do it. So melt all the cords. The only cord I would suggest that you keep is at the first chakra only with your young child, if you have a young child, like 13 or younger. Although some kids grow up early and maybe they're ready to get rid of that first chakra cord when they're 11 or so. But, you know, as a general sort of a thing, 13 or younger is probably, you know, you keep that first chakra cord with them. So that's chakra repair. So then now we can do chakra unblocking now that we have the basic shape and structure repaired. Because when they're damaged, they don't unblock properly. They don't flow right. So we have to do the repair first. But now we can unblock. So use sticky gold wax and just put the sticky gold wax inside this composite copy and all around the outside. Around the round openings, around the cylinder part, everywhere inside. And have that sticky gold wax stick to all the energy blocks that you're ready to get rid of, and just lift out the wax and the blocks and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. If you're healing yourself, another option is with the wax or just with your intention. Lift out all the blocks and you can blow up the blocks. If you're healing someone else, that's too pushy to blow up other people's energy blocks. So you just lift out the blocks and give them to the angels. Angels, here you go. So lift out the energy blocks, angels, here you go. And these are energy blocks you have with your intention. You want to change at the rate that is, you know, really good and making nice progress, right? But healthy and gentle as well. So lift out a healthy and gentle amount of energy blocks to get rid of and give to your angels. Angels, here you go. And our theme today is family boundaries, right? So there could be energy blocks here that really make it harder for you to have boundaries with your family. Like maybe your mom knows these energy blocks and she knows how to cord them all the time. So just get rid of the blocks. So lift out any family boundaries, energy blocks, lift them out. Angels, here you go. Okay, more gold light, deep breath. Lift out any family boundaries related energy blocks. Angels, here you go. And it is springtime for everybody that I'm healing. So there could be energy blocks that are holding you back from making the most of springtime. So you can imagine those sort of anti-spring energy blocks. And lift those out and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. So that you can make the most of springtime. So again, any energy blocks that are getting in the way of you appreciating spring. It doesn't mean that you know, have to be like running and jumping, you know, if that's not how you feel. But there could be some energy blocks that just block you from enjoying the moment and really being aware of that the seasons have changed. So lift out those blocks that are getting in your way related to spring, you know, like sort of harshing your joy of spring, and lift those out and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. All right, good job. So that was chakra repair and unblocking in general, and then for family boundaries, and then for spring, for appreciating and enjoying springtime. So then now we'll do chakra fit, which is quick and easy. Usually I do chakra fit with only major chakras, but we could keep it this way, where you still have this composite copy representing all your major and minor chakras, right? And they're typically, there are only a few cases where you only have a physical version of a chakra, but a lot of times you have a physical version and an astral version of a chakra. And so you want them both to be repaired and whole and flowing so that they fit nicely into each other, so you can be really, really present and clicked in, right? When you get present. So you can lift out energy blocks to the extent that's healthy and gentle. lift out energy blocks in the way of you fitting in and being really present, right? So lift out any blocks in the way of your chakra fit. Lift out those energy blocks. Angels, here you go. Deep breath. Okay, one more time. Be aware of energy blocks in the way of chakra fit, meaning astral body chakras fitting nicely into your physical body chakras. So lift out those energy blocks in the way of chakra fit. Angels, here you go. Deep breath. Another deep breath. All right. Okay, so you can get rid of that copy or hand it to your angels if you want. All right, so now we will do the fourth chakra and neck and shoulders work. So I had said in the intro, basically that, I mean, you know, neck and shoulders, sometimes I think it's very common that people have tension in the shoulders, in the neck, perhaps, but also in that place where they meet, you know, as the shoulder comes towards the neck, is a common tension area right here, right? So lately I've become aware, thanks to the angels, that that can stem, a lot of that tension can stem from a boundaries problem with the fourth chakra. And, you know, family boundaries a lot of times, you know, can be fourth chakra related. I mean, you could be courted by a family member anywhere, in any energy block, you know, somewhere in your aura, somewhere. But, you know, fourth chakra has to do with self-love, commitment, taking care of self, balance between your awareness of other people's needs and your own needs. So a lot of times if people try to manipulate you, they might cord your heart chakra, your fourth chakra. So anyway, if you have cords in there, people are sending energy through those cords. That energy, if it's continually coming, it has to go somewhere. It's not just going to all stay neat and tidy and just block up your fourth chakra. So a lot of times it will go to this area in between the shoulders and the neck, right in there, and block that up quite a bit. So as you melt these cords, as you clear the energy blocks in front of your fourth chakra that these people are cording, then you can melt the cords, and then this area can get less tension. And then we can do extra repair and healing of this area. Okay, so that's explaining. So now we will do. So just imagine you're a copy of both of your fourth chakras and then your astral body and physical body, neck and shoulders. So this area right here, neck and shoulders and fourth chakra. Fourth chakra is in the center of your chest. Has to do with enthusiasm, motivation, self-care, balance between your awareness of other people's needs and your own needs. So go ahead and be aware of energy blocks in front or behind your fourth chakra. Be aware of energy cords going into those blocks from other people, and be aware of that tension, energy blockages basically in your neck and shoulder area. And you may not have this level of awareness yet, but you can go for it because maybe you can surprise yourself. But just imagine the cords and see if you can sort of imagine the energy traveling through the cords into that part of your body, the neck and shoulder area. And go ahead and melt the cords going into those energy blocks. So like this would be your, you know, your fourth chakra, round opening in the front, round opening in the back. So you melt away the cords. Each person would be sending a pair of cords. So you melt those cords, and then you can melt the stacks of energy blocks in front of those round openings. And so melt more cords, melt more energy blocks in front of those round openings. And then just notice that there is maybe a little bit less or a lot less energy blocking up right here in your neck and shoulder area. Just kind of comb through that. You could have invasive beings that are sort of around or in your fourth chakra, and then they're also wired into this area. So we could do a collapsing gold nets for that whole area. Maybe put your fifth chakra into fifth, fourth, third. You know, collapsing gold nets for this whole area. Fifth, fourth, third. You know, just collapsing gold nets for that whole area. And then lift out the junk. Angels, here you go. Collapsing gold nets to get rid of blockages and invasive beings and people. Collapsing gold nets. Angels, here you go. One more time. Collapsing gold nets around fifth, fourth, and third chakras. In the front and back, everywhere. Collapsing gold nets. Angels, here you go. So again, be more aware of the fourth chakra, astral body chakra, and physical body chakra. If you're present, then they'll fit into each other. The more you unblock, the better they fit into each other. Astral fourth fits into your physical fourth. And then just be aware of some energy blocks in the front or the back or both. And then be aware of the cords going into there, so just melt those cords. And then just notice that tension between your neck and shoulders, the energy blockages there. Did that reduce? How much? Just be aware of how much of that neck and shoulder tension now is related to fourth chakra boundary issues still. You can have invasive beings that are just kind of sending energy, like maybe they're not even in your aura, but they're sending energy, they're in front of you and they're sending energy into your fourth chakra, and then that's bottling up in your neck and shoulders. So you can just be like, okay, this is you, this is any invasive beings messing with your neck, shoulders, or fourth chakra, right? And just imagine them like a big cloud and just say, angels, can you recycle all these beings? Because enough is enough. You don't have time for games. Okay, one more time. Just imagine you, including your fourth chakra and your neck and shoulders, right? And then imagine any invasive beings that are messing with your neck, shoulders, fourth chakra, any of your chakras, why not? And just imagine like a big cloud and say, angels, can you recycle all these beings? Deep breath. Stay present, wiggle your toes. Okay, so again, imagine both your fourth chakras and that neck and shoulders area. And how much of the tension and blockage in your neck and shoulder area is a result of fourth chakra boundary issues? So how much of it is energy that comes from your fourth into this area? Like, you know, blockage energy, because you do have fourth chakra energy that you send up here too, but that's good, you know, that's like your energy. You can set your fourth chakra to like a nice shade of green that you like, and that way your energy will probably be exactly that shade of green that's coming up, and anything that's not. And you also have energy from your seventh, sixth, and fifth that go down your neck and shoulders. So you can set your seventh to your favorite shade of purple, set your sixth chakra to your favorite shade of like a darker blue, and your fifth chakra to your favorite shade of medium or light blue. So then it should be kind of pretty. If you're able to see energy. If you're not, it's okay, but your energy would be like, you know, purple, blue, and green going down your neck and shoulders. And energy that's not you would not be those colors. Could be black, could be white, or something else. Okay, so how much of the blockage in your neck and shoulder area is a result of fourth chakra junk? Or, you know, boundary issues with your fourth chakra. So again, unblock the front and the back of your fourth chakra, melt those blocks, melt the cords going into those blocks. Melt the blocks. Melt the cords going into the blocks in front and back of your fourth chakras. Melt the blocks. Okay, and again, sense any tension or blockage in your neck and shoulder area. The flow, I mean, there's all sorts of different meridians that go around this area as well, but you have sort of a major energy channel that is inside there that goes down your neck and branches out, so there's one for each side. So that's the energy channel we're most focused on right now. So you can have, now you can have sort of like karate chop kind of wedges stuck in there that someone threw at you maybe even a long time ago, or spears that people have thrown in that area. So a fun thing to do is kind of like automatically eject them and have them dissolve as they eject. So just be aware of each neck and shoulder area and just kind of eject the large objects or any hard objects and have them dissolve as soon as they eject. Do not send them back to the people that sent them to you, because that's bad karma for you, even if they sent them to you first. You can't be like, well, they did it first. So just eject the hard objects, let them dissolve as soon as they are ejected from the area. So each neck and shoulder area, just imagine the hard objects, have them sort of pop out automatically and dissolve. Pop them out and dissolve them. If that doesn't work for you, you can just use sticky gold wax and then lift them out and give them to your angels. Sticky gold wax, lift them out, give them to your angels. Because it could be that some pop out and eject nicely and dissolve, but others you need the sticky gold wax for, so that's okay. So sticky gold wax in that area and just lift out the hard objects and the junk. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax that area between your neck and shoulders and lift out the junk. Angels, here you go. And so now repair, because if you did have spears and wedges and stuff, then there's a lot of damage. So just use gold light, get it nice and deep in this neck and shoulder area, because we want that flow to be really nice and flowing. And if it's blocked and ripped up and leaky, that's not going to help, right? So repair all that with gold light. Okay, and now we can just repair leaks that are anywhere in this, neck, shoulder, arm area. Sometimes you have invasive beings stuck in those holes, so then it's harder to repair them because they're in the way. So I guess you can do another gold net around your arms and your shoulders and your whole upper body. Maybe put your hips in there. Yeah, your hips in too, why not? And collapsing gold nets, and just collapse it all. Get rid of any beings that are in the way. Angels, here you go. More collapsing gold nets. Collapse them in. Angels, here you go. All right, so now just any holes, any leaks in your shoulders and arms, your neck, shoulders, and arms. Just heal up those holes. Repair the holes. All right. So you can try some neck stretching a little bit. Let's feel how that feels. And if you do find some tension there still, which is certainly possible, just be aware, okay, so is that a fourth chakra boundary issue causing that tension? Or is there something like physically right there that's blocking up the energy? And you can just cover your bases and kind of send gold light in your fourth chakra and send gold light in that area at the same time. And stretch both sides of your neck and shoulders. And again, send energy in both places. Send gold light in your fourth chakra and also in your neck and shoulder area. at the same time. Oh, another one, it's kind of funny to do. So that was neck and shoulders work, a lot of work, and we unblocked and melted cords, and we used sticky gold wax, and then we used gold nets to get rid of the localized objects stuck in there, and repaired more. We repaired that area, but then we also repaired leaks anywhere in your neck, shoulders, and arms. We can do gold bottle brush technique too. For the fourth chakra and also for neck and shoulders. So imagine your neck and shoulder area, and imagine your physical and astral body fourth chakras inside each other, and make gold bottle brushes. So a bottle brush is what you might use to clean out something like this, and but make it out of gold healing energy, so it's nice and gentle on the chakra, but it can get out the junk that's not you, right? And so just use that gold bottle brush on your fourth chakra, and when it's all dirty, give it to your angels. Make another, use the gold bottle brush on the other end of the fourth chakra, and then give it to your angels, and you can make as many of those as you want. More gold bottle brushes for your fourth chakra. Give them to your angels. More gold bottle brushes for the outside of your fourth chakra. Clean that out. Give it to your angels. And then that neck and shoulders area, energy channels inside going down your neck and your shoulders. So just imagine that you have a gold bottle brush that can like fit in that curvy area and just clean it all out. And give it to your angels, and then make another bendy gold bottle brush that fits in your neck and shoulder area. And you're unblocking it with the gold bottle brush. Do the other side too. Don't just do one side. Right? Make a bendy gold bottle brush for your neck and shoulder area. Just get on all the junk, angels. Here you go. Another bendy gold bottle brush. Give it to your angels. All right. That was fun. Bendy gold bottle brush. So you can just comb through everything, see how that all feels. Let's do a little unblocking of the bottom of all the aura layers and the bottom of all the auras, because your Wei Qi auras don't have layers. So just the, from like your hips on down, let's just unblock, because it helps you release better if the lower part of all your auras is nice and unblocked. So we're just unblocking all your 17 auras from the hips on down. You can unblock the upper part too. I just noticed that the lower part extra needed it. So, That was unblocking hips on down for the 17 auras. So then we're almost done, by the way. But there could be energy blocks. Like within your family, you want to be yourself, right? You want to have your own identity, presumably. Some people, they don't individuate at all, but those people are not going to be drawn to my work in any way, shape, or form. So if you're at all listening to me, then you want to be you. Like there are things that you came here to do, to accomplish, to experience, things that would enrich you, fulfill you, that are uniquely yours. It's not like all your siblings are the same or your parents are the same. It's just for you, right? And sometimes being in a group, just being born into a group like the family, or being married into a group, you could have energy blocks that the family is courting, and then that makes it hard for you to be you. And it might be a whole bunch of great people and you're very happy to be a part of, say your genetic family or your married family, or maybe not. Maybe you're not so pleased with some members of various families that you have. But either way, you want to be you, right? And so just go ahead and put out in front, you can make a big gold blanket if you want, and put on that blanket energy blocks that get in the way, that really cause some boundary issues between you and these family members, that make it hard for you to be you, right? And so what we can do is just melt the blocks, and that way the family members aren't courting the blocks because they don't exist anymore. Which is a lot easier than making all these family groups evolve at your rate. That's that gets into manipulative sort of wishful thinking even. So just make a big gold blanket, put all the energy blocks out in front of you that somebody in your family is courting. That makes it harder for you to be you. And just go ahead and melt the quartz. You can say, angels, can you check all these energy blocks? Is it okay for me to melt them? And so any that are still there after that, just go ahead and melt the quartz with gold light and melt the blocks. So again, these are energy blocks that you have, that your family members are courting, and it just makes it harder for you to be you. For you to experience what you're here to experience, create what you're meant to create. So just go ahead and melt these blocks. If you have any left over, say, angels, help me clear those. So that was the blanket exercise, basically. Clearing energy blocks that are causing boundary issues with you and your family members, making it harder for you to be you. Let me see. I think the last thing we'll do is unblock your path. Spiritual path. So your spiritual path is just for you. It's a road that's just for you. So it's unique to you. Even if you have siblings and children and partners and all that, they have their own path. Each of them has their own unique path. You have your unique path. But sometimes it's easy to get people blocking your path, and it could be purely accidental. But it's nice to clear them off with gold light that's gentle for you and them, and that way you can move forward. You're free to make progress that maybe was harder before. So you just imagine the road that's just for you, your spiritual path, and you're on the path. Hopefully you're not lost. But if you're lost, bring yourself back to your path. And just unblock your path with, like, you can imagine like a big gold gentle tidal wave that's going to wash everybody out respectfully, but wash everybody off of your path, and wash behind you too, and above you and all around you. But just use your gold light and just wash everybody else off your path, because they have their own path. You can even say, hey, go find your own path. Have your angels help you be on your path. It'll help you be happier, I promise. You don't have to promise. Maybe that's a little bit heavy. Just say, hey, have your angels help you be on your path. Lots of gold light. Just unblock your path so that you're free to make progress and enjoy your life. All right. And if you need to work more on any of this, which is entirely possible, growth is incremental. So, there's some that you're ready to do today, and there'll be more that you're ready to do, say, a week from now or even a day from now. So you can, of course, use this later as a video. There will be timestamps and a detailed healing summary within a day in the comment section. But maybe too, you want to work in your sleep with your angels on it. So you could just say, angels, help me to keep working on this. If any of this, I need more work, help me to work on it in my sleep with you. So I'm going to work more with my angels on this stuff if I need it. So that way you don't have to worry that maybe you didn't do enough or something, that you've made the commitment that if it's healthy for you, you're going to work more with your angels on this stuff. All right. So you can just say, angels, can you please give me a healing? And that's a nice way to wrap up. All right. Good job. We did it. Woohoo! Yay! So the healing is done. And I'm going to shoot for like a little discussion time right now of like maybe 22 minutes or so. So if you have comments about how this healing was for you, I would be interested, of course. You could put that in if you're one of the people I healed, you will get a post-healing survey, which you could please fill out tomorrow. And I'll look at those results. But right now, if you did want to share anything about how you feel, how the healing was for you, also the people that only healed yourself, that's fine too. Please feel free to comment and mention that you healed yourself only. In case I can't tell from your YouTube ID who you are. If you have a follow-up question about family boundaries or something I talked about in this live stream, that's fine. I may or may not have time for it, but we'll see. Okay. And if you want me to read, like, say, your boundaries between you and your mom or something, if I have time, put your mom's initials. Say my mom PK or whatever. Okay, so let's see. Someone says, oh, I had said that someone could post a question under a video because it maybe is a bigger question than we have time for in this live stream. And she said, gotcha, wonderful and inspirational. Thank you. You're welcome. Someone says, love all this. I feel great listening while planting my herb garden. Oh, good for you. It's not warm enough here for me to do that. I'm waiting. Our last frost date, expected last frost date is May 4th. So we have to wait. People say, like on the little gardening Facebook page, they say, wait till Mother's Day to plant outside here. So we'll see. But anyway, then you say, my granddaughter, Nora K, is, you're mentioning her name, is having recent disrupted sleep and not eating as well as her mom wants her to. Need messages from her angels for you. Gratitude. I would say both her parents have aura damage. Yeah, both her parents have aura damage. Her mother also has creative ring damage and chakra damage. So a lot of their energy is coming through them towards the child and overwhelming the child. So it's more of a parent energy issue than a child energy issue. Children are like big sponges. So when you're more centered, I know you're very experienced. So when you're centered, I know you will, when you're centered. Just remind the parents to work with their angels. You can specifically remind them, hey, you can get your creative rings repaired, you can get your aura repaired, you can get your chakras repaired, so that they're getting that work done. because otherwise it's like there's like a sort of like a white cloudy tornado-y thing, you know, in the upper back of their energy field, and it goes through them into the kid, and then she can't sleep. So, you know, they can also get their house cleaned out by their angels too. You can remind them of that as well. But at this point, it looks like it's directly through the parents into the child. So it's just really an issue with the parents. So I hope that helps. Someone says spot on because of that. Run out the door. Thank you. Absolute love and blessings to you. Thank you. I do love you. Your energy is beautiful. You're very kind. And your videos are appreciated. Please do a night one. A night live stream, I think is what you're saying. I don't know. That might be a little intense for me, to be honest. I mean, this is intense enough. Like some days, you know, like when this live stream starts, sometimes I'm still asleep at that time. I mean, obviously not today, but you know, a night live stream is probably going to be a buzzkill for me, so I wouldn't do it. Sorry. But plus I have European clients, and you know, a night live stream would be like, you know, 5 a.m., 4 a.m. for them. So this is the time when I thought like, well, people in the various countries, it might kind of work for them. So sorry, it doesn't work for you. But I do have one on Tuesday. I don't know if that makes it better or worse or whatever, but you can do the videos later. Someone says it's just that the live streams are pretty intense for me, so then it takes a while to come down after that, and so if I did it at night, it would be too much for me personally. Someone says hi. This is, and you're mentioning your name and you're mentioning your friend's name. We both feel our neck and shoulders are much lighter and more fluid. Oh, good. So you healed yourself during this live stream, and you felt that helped. Oh, good. Good job. Good job. Yeah, I would say redo for both of you guys. So the minor energy channels, you know, not the 7 major ones, but there are energy channels in this neck and shoulder. I mean, there are chakras. Chakras help energy flow, right? So they're kind of like little room fans, and they keep the energy circulating, right? So the major chakras keep the energy circulating within each aura layer of the major 2 auras. But your neck and shoulder energy channels, they have chakras within them just to keep that energy flow, right? But those chakras can get crushed. If you have so much invasive energy coming in, it can kind of flatten all those chakras and crush them. Like it sort of feels like it seems like to me sometimes like a light bulb, how a light bulb can get crushed and all the glass can get broken. It's a little bit like that. So around the bendy part, around major bendy parts, so like shoulders, knees, stuff like that, you tend to have like 2 energy channels. There'll be one chakras. There'll be one chakra before the bendy part and one chakra after the bendy part, just to kind of whoosh, shoot it through the bendy part, right? And then the straightaway part, like in there, you'll have 3 chakras. So the straight part has 3 chakras, and then the bendy part has 2 chakras, right? One before the bend, one after the bend, right? So you guys, for your neck and shoulders area, those bendy chakras right there are still like half crushed. So you can specifically just repair the bendy chakras, you know, the one in your neck part and the one in the shoulder part on both sides. So make a composite of just those 4 chakras, the one right before the bend and the one right after the bend. So the composite of those 4, and just repair only those 4. And just kind of just let that repair and repair and repair and repair. And you may have some invasive beings that are kind of rooted in there, which is making it harder. So just make up big collapsing gold nets all around that composite, and then close in the collapsing gold nets, get out the beings, get rid of them. Another collapsing gold nets, you know, grab out the beings, give them to your angels, and then again, more repair of just those bendy chakras around your neck and shoulders. And chances are, without those invasive beings in the way, then the repair can complete. So that should help as well. And to, of course, you know, you can just like go back to the work on a couple different days and you'll probably be ready to do more and more and more each time. But cool, thanks for the feedback and congratulations on your work. Someone says, thank you, Janet. Anger towards my dad came up. I felt better after the fourth chakra healing. Great. Someone says, thank you, Janet. You're welcome. Someone says, hi, Janet. Very thorough grounding. I especially liked the blanket exercise we just did. Oh, good. And you healed yourself, and I healed your family member. So good. I'm glad. So that means you healed yourself, and it was good. Good. Good to know. Someone says, hi, Janet. Running off to work, but anything I should watch out for other than binging Say Yes to the Dress? Which I am doing much less of. LOL. Interesting. Thank you. There's a show. There's a very silly show. Say Yes to the Dress, and it's on Netflix, I think. And I used to binge it like a couple of years ago. I used to binge watch much more than I do now. Now I mean, never say never, you know, because sometimes I say something and then automatically after that it's not true. But lately, I have not been binging. And binging meaning like watching like a whole bunch of episodes of a certain show at once. I've been getting more into like my hobby of, you know, gardening and indoor seed planting and stuff, with grow lights and stuff. It's very fun. Or like researching stuff about my outdoor garden, you know, online, and, you know, just learning stuff. And so I've transitioned from binging to hobby energy, which I find is much more nourishing and gets me more present, and it's very satisfying, but it kind of has a little bit of the binge satisfaction because one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. You know, I answer one question and I'm like, oh my gosh, but what about this? You know, and like I watch YouTube, different gardeners, and they have different ideas, and then I read the comment section and I learn different things in people's comments. So it does have a sort of a binge aspect to it, in that it's engrossing, but it's much more restorative and productive than the Netflix binging. But, you know, there is a healthy place for that. It's just I was doing it excessively. So now I'm just kind of avoiding those shows that tend to make me in that bingey headspace. But anyway, this client happens to binge a show that or maybe was binging a show that I used to binge. So it was just funny. Someone says, thank you, you're welcome. Well, good. Let's see. We still have 11 minutes if needed for the discussion part. Let me see how many people are watching. 18 people on a Sunday. I'll just look at a sample person and see. This is a person's husband, who also got the healings. And, and just so you know, they got the healings because somebody purchased 2 spots, one for her and one for her husband, when they went on sale 2 months ago. It's not like I automatically heal everybody's families. As you know, if you buy a spot for yourself, you have to actually buy a spot for yourself and a family member, specific family member, and tell me who that person is. And then I ask them on a spirit level, if they're not going to be conscious of the healing, I make sure that on a spirit level, they really want the healing, and then it's okay. But anyway, so her husband, he had some conformity group agreements and some blank check agreements with his family members. So he cleared those, and he had a lot of energy blocks related to arguments they've been having that he was avoiding clearing. And so he cleared about half of those, which could make him like less cranky around her. Not cranky at all, because they still do have marital issues, but less cranky. The neck and shoulders thing is helping him get way more present. Because, you know, sometimes when you're stuck, you blame it on your relationship that you're stuck, but it's actually not your partner keeping you stuck. You're just stuck, you know, and I think that's the case with his neck and shoulders. He's just stuck because of a lot of things. I mean, their marriage is not great, but that's like really 2% of why he's stuck. But it's easy for the major relationship in your life to seem like it's the source of why you're stuck, you know? So now that he has a lot of that traffic jam in his neck and shoulders cleared up, maybe about half of it. He's bringing in a lot of new energy, and he's sort of pulling some of his energy out of the conflicts that he has with his wife. So again, they still have deep marital issues, but it seems like he's less likely to feel like his marriage is sort of ruining his entire life, and more likely to just make progress on some of his, issues in his life. So just thought I'd read that since I had time. Someone says, thank you, Janet. You're welcome. Good to hear from you. Someone says, any feedback for me today? Well, family boundaries related feedback. Let's see. You still have some blank check agreements with your family members, like you cleared maybe half of them. There's some guilt and some resistance that was blocking you from seeing or being aware of all your blank check agreements with your family members, which is fine. You can just try it on multiple days, just clear more, you don't have to like push it or, force it or anything. Just maybe at least 2 different times, either consciously, using the video or in your sleep with your angels. But there's more blank check agreements that you could clear with family members. The conformity group agreements, you were pretty empowered about clearing those. You got really into that. So I don't think there are any that you didn't see, although there are more that you might be ready to do like a week from now and 2 weeks from now. So it's still something you could keep doing. You're in all your chakras. Unblocking your path, you could work that more. We did that right at the end, just for like a minute. But that's something that could feel nice for you to keep working on. There is, if someone wants a more in-depth walkthrough of unblocking the spiritual path, there's one called, if you search Janet Wright, Own Path, Clear Punishment. I'll type it out. That you'll find a video that has the image of it is like a big road. And that's a big walkthrough about clearing your spiritual path. Someone says, hi, Janet. I have had some weird boundary issues with my brother most of my life, and you mentioned his name. I sometimes feel he does stuff because he was used to doing it when we were kids. Sibling drama, any advice? Well, sure. A lot of people, they get caught in patterns. Part of that, I think, is sometimes parents, they have like a sort of a hierarchy in their mind of like, okay, well, this person's older, so we expect this person to help with the other kids, and or you're the smart one in the family, you're the creative one in the family, you're the troublemaker in the family. So sometimes people get in their 7th chakra kind of a map of which kid is which. And it gets a little stagnant, so if you're totally different than you were then, they might not be able to acknowledge that. You could make message flowers, when you're centered, after you've healed yourself a little bit, like now. You could make energy healing flowers for your brother, and also make them be message flowers. So they're healing, but there's also a message. And, so it could be, of course, your angels can help you, but also, hey, I'm a different person now. I'm all grown up and you're all grown up, and, just wanted to mention that, and then have your angels check it so that, it's at the right vibration, and then, put it at a respectful distance in front of him. But that could be nice to do like a couple days in a row, maybe, just energy healing flowers, reminding him of his angels and reminding him, hey, I'm a grown man now. So are you, I acknowledge you as a grown up. But then, try to clear your expectations of how this person views you, how this person treats you, because the less expectations you have, the more you're just cool with whatever, you know, the more you're not stuck about what they do or don't do. So that could be blanket exercise, you know, any of your baggage about how your brother perceives or treats you, and just clear all that baggage so that you're not invested one way or another. Oh, right. Someone says, "Hi, Janet. Am I ready to end the contracts with family members? I often update with parents, but have not done that for siblings." I think today you did sibling ones as well in this healing. It wasn't just family members. Like some of your siblings, they're a little bit more invested in those conformity group agreements, and you so you had some directly with some siblings that you cleared today. You did have some blank check agreements with many of your siblings. You cleared about half of them today. So I think it's just something you could you have you can clear baggage, let's say sibling related baggage. It's really from past lives, but you have some past lives where, you know, you felt abandoned and not supported by your siblings in those families, you know, different siblings entirely. But, you know, so you never want to abandon your siblings. You know, you always want to be there for your siblings because you've felt abandoned. And so sometimes that can, because that's pain, you it's not just life experience, you have some of the pain still of feeling abandoned by siblings. So it causes you sometimes to overgive. And it used to cause you to be a little invasive as well, although you've cleared that. So you can just clear sibling related baggage from past lives and this life, you know, just blanket exercise. You're gonna do that for a few days, and then that should free you up to update the rest of your agreements with your siblings. So I hope that makes sense. Someone says, "Janet, am I still carrying a lot of my mom's fears?" And you mentioned her name. Well, you're carrying less of them. You did clear some today. Yeah, I think you do have a number of. They're not so much blank check agreements with her. I think you've cleared those today, but you have a little bit of like a savior agreement with 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 some of your family members. Like, I will save you. I will be your light. I will be your truth. I will be your, you know, goodness. I will be the, you know, what's pure in the world for you. A little bit of, you know, like a savior complex kind of a thing, where you, it's just a bit much. It's like maybe like we could call it an overpromise. You know, they have angels, you don't have to be their savior, you know. And so you can just line up your savior agreements with your family members and just update them with gold light. Say, angels, help me modify these so they're more healthy for me and my family members. So it's a little different than a blank check agreement. It's just you're trying to be their everything. So anyway, you can work on that over time. Someone says, "Any thoughts about working on my family boundaries?" If I go back, you know, I did a little bit of reading for you guys already. So in the interest of time, I'm just gonna feel free to again post your, you know, your names or initials, whatever you're comfortable with, under the video. Once it's a video, as soon as the live stream is done, it'll be a video, and then you can post the same question under, and I'd be happy to check it when I have time and post my reply under the video, under your comment under the video. So hello to you guys, you're totally welcome. But I'm just gonna move on because I've already did some reading on you guys, and just for timing. But there are 5 of these live streams each month. This is the 4th out of 5. The next one is in 2 days on Tuesday, and you're welcome to, watch as well. Then, and the schedule of all my live streams for the whole year is on my website, janetwrightreadings.com. Someone says, ooh, message flowers, neat idea. Yes. Yeah, they're fun. Message flowers, the video that's in, if someone is like, what the heck is she talking about? There's this video called Resolve Conflict Boundary Issues. If you search Janet Wright, Resolve Conflict Boundary Issues, it uses a lot of healing flowers and message flowers between you and people that either they're just close loved ones that you don't have conflict with, you just want to help, or people that you actually do have boundary issues with. And it's a nice thing. Non-manipulative, because the angels help, and so it's good. Someone says, lots of love from India. Thank you so much. Hello, hello. Someone says, hi, Janet. Thanks for your help. You're welcome. Generally speaking, if an issue is stubborn, can you also use white light, or does it represent more to the issue to be worked on? Thanks. And you mentioned your name. Good. That's helpful. So white light, color is vibration. And so, like, for example, black as a color is the slowest moving color. So a lot of times you'll see energy blocks that have a black color. And it's just because the energy is not moving. And so that's how it looks if you're able to perceive color. So you clear those with gold light and they melt away, and then you're not blocked anymore, right? And for chakras, the major chakras, rainbow colors are very helpful. So ideally red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, deep blue, purple. Those are, in my opinion, really helpful colors for those chakras. I have a 2-page free chakra handout. I could email anybody if you want. Just email me, janet@janetwrightreadings.com. Say, hey, can you please send me the free chakra handout? It's just a 2-page email attachment. So then there's gold light, which is a step up from purple as far as like speed of vibration. And so gold is not too fast. So it's a really good cleaner and good for repairing when you're present in the lifetime to use gold light. Angels, when they heal you in this lifetime, from what I hear from angels, they use gold light. They do not use white light. White light is used at times in heaven when you are in heaven. So you no longer have a physical body. And so there's a wider vibrational range that's totally fine for you as a spirit when you're in between lifetimes. But if you have a life, you have a body, and you want to be present, then white light would get in the way of that because it's too fast moving. And so it's too different from your body. And so when you have a body, it's nice to be in it and be present, because it's like your home, and you're keeping your body safe and your energy system safe. You're not just vacating the premises and floating out at white somewhere. Because if you're not home, well, then, that's a lot of open doors for invasive beings or invasive people. So it's good to, what I would say, stick to rainbow colors, stick to gold light, save white for heaven. I mean, of course you can do rainbow colors and gold in heaven as well. But, from what I hear from angels, white is only for heaven. So like a white light when someone crosses over, hello, so yeah, I would not do white now. Yeah, white is sort of like, if you're used to being present, white light would feel like you've drunken like 7 coffees or something. But, a lot of people that use white light aren't very present, and so they don't know the difference, but I would suggest rainbow colors, earth energy, stay here. You have a body, use it. It's sacred as well. It's not just, some people think of the physical body, unfortunately, as like, oh, that's so not spiritual. It's so, non-evolved. But that's not true. Your physical body, you can clear it and heal it and use it as a beautiful sacred instrument with which to feel energy and to be safe and to manifest. So that's my little speech on white light. So yeah, no, I would not use white light, even if something is hard to clear. No. But if you have something that isn't clearing, you can ask your angels for help, of course. You can post the specific scenario under a video and I could look at it when I have time. Someone says, I have a question about how to enjoy travel, have a true vacation without feeling guilty that one or another of my kids cannot join, just ending a spring break that I did not truly relax during at all. Well, this will be a quick answer since I need to wrap up. Yeah, I would say a little similar answer as a different person who had to clear sibling related baggage from past lives. I would say just do some blanket exercises, clearing family guilt and feelings of abandonment and stuff from this and past lives. Because I don't think it's as much your kids making you feel guilty and making, being like, you're abandoning me, that's not fair. I don't think that's really enough to bum you out. I think it's more just like stuff from past lives, mostly, of, feeling excluded from family situations when it really bothered you. So just old family baggage about guilt, about, being abandoned, about being with the group or not being with the group, and just clear all that. So that, do that over time, of course. But yeah, just clear old family baggage that gets in the way of you enjoying vacations. Someone says, makes a lot of sense. Thank you. You're welcome. Someone says, thank you so much. Very appreciative of your way of being and gifts. Well, thank you. That's very kind. And I'm glad you found me. All right, cool. So it's a good note to end on. So you guys are awesome. Congratulations. If you did even a fraction of this healing, this was a big deal healing, of course. So don't feel weird or guilty if you could only do a half hour of it and you're like, that's enough. Because it's not designed it's designed for me doing my best as a healer for the people that paid me to heal them. But if you doing it on yourself, maybe you only want to do part of it, that might be just fine. And again, I will within a day put a detailed healing summary in the comment section with timestamp links to help you pick and choose. Maybe there's a part you want to repeat or there's a part you want to skip. It'll be much easier with timestamp links. Okay, and I will do the part 2 of this healing in 2 days, on Tuesday. But you can just do part 1 or part 2. It's not like you have to do both. Someone says, thanks, Janet. You're the best. Thank you, too. Someone says, yes, they seem to be having a good time without me. Thanks. All right, great. You guys are awesome. Take care. And I will go let out my dogs for the last minute of the live stream. Plus, you can see my baggy pants. I've gone back to the old style of baggy pants that I used to wear a lot. I mean, I'll switch it up. Sometimes I wear jeans and sometimes wear baggy pants, but I haven't worn baggy pants in a long time, so. Anyway, totally unrelated life details. But anyway, let's see. So here are my doggies, my 3 beagles. So this is Abel right there. He's sleeping. He has a little cone on. Well, he's awake now. And then I'll show you Izzy and Daisy as I let them out of their carriers. There we go. So there we go, little, hopefully a close up if I can manage it. There's Daisy right there. Hi, Daisy. Izzy's running around. All right, well, I should go get them outside. So you guys are awesome. Take care. Bye. Have a good day.